Long before the Great Void became a corridor of peril for mortal eyes, the chronicles whispered of giants who once shaped worlds with thought alone. Now, in Recap, Tales of Herding Gods, Chapter 9 and 43, Chapter 9 and 44, those very masters of creation drift silently above Wei Suifeng's galaxy, their colossal corpses gliding as if the cosmos were but a tranquil pond. Qin Mu, ever restless, hovers closer, daring to pry into secrets untouched for 10,000 years, while suspicion and murder linger quietly among those who should follow him. Beneath the serene march of these ancient guardians, treachery simmers, and the fragile balance between life and death trembles on the edge. As consciousnesses clash and past worlds fracture, one cannot help but wonder, will the boy who walks beside the dead survive the reckoning that waits in the void? The corpses of the masters of creation from prehistory? Qin Mu lifted his gaze. Those colossal corpses strode across the galaxy as if treading upon still water, each step stirring ripples of strange patterns that spread like ghostly waves. This galaxy was no ordinary void. It was the divine art of Wei Suifeng, capable of eruption with the slightest touch. Yet, these walking corpses traversed its surface without disturbing it. Even more astonishing, this procession of dead masters moved through the Great Void itself. The Great Void, endless and empty, held no anchor for the living, yet these titanic forms moved as if they were ascetic monks, practicing some ineffable cultivation. They were lifeless, yet each step was deliberate. What is the origin of these walking corpses? Qin Mu asked Yun Chushu at his side. She shook her head, her eyes unreadable. I do not know. This is what the Emperor of Endless Clouds found while exploring the Great Void. These corpses wander without heed, heedless of all else. The Emperor discovered they have no souls, long dead beyond 10,000 years. Yet, a calm accompanies their presence. The devils in one's heart cannot stir beside them. Should you encounter them, safety follows for the rest of your path. Beneath these spectral guardians, their ship drifted. The devils within hearts slumbered, and strange apparitions dared not manifest. Without warning, Qin Mu launched from the ship, circling the galaxy to alight upon its surface, inspecting the corpses with meticulous care. Celestial Venerable Mu, what are you doing? The voice rang across the vessel like a whip, and hearts turned cold. Yun Chushu shouted, These walking corpses are guardians. Do nothing reckless. Lian Huahun's eyes glimmered, her voice soft but sharp as a hidden blade. Celestial Venerable Mu is heedless. Perhaps it would be safer for all if he were removed. What say you? Luo Wushuang frowned, surveying the ship. Many nodded, some with grim faces, their intent clear. Death for Celestial Venerable Mu was a silent accord. Qin Mu, in name the expedition leader, unknowingly walks among wolves, Luo Wushuang mused. Even he bore a grudge for the loss of his arm. This journey to the Great Void was never for exploration but a conspiracy to erase him. Yet Qin Mu ignored the conspiracies and studied the corpses. They were indeed the ancient masters of creation, their brows embedded with grand primordium divine stones. Long dead, their pulses were absent, yet their consciousness lingered, aligned with the galaxy's pointing, as if following the river of fate. Circling one colossal corpse, Qin Mu sought signs of its demise. No wounds marred their forms. Garments remained pristine. His sword pellet transformed into a flying blade, cutting the cloth only to see it regenerate. The grand primordium divine stones and their lingering consciousness wove the fabric anew. Though their bodies perish, their minds endure, circling eternally. Injuries mend, and their will remains, Qin Mu murmured. Shu Jun's voice rang through the void. Let me touch their consciousness to see what they once lived through. Qin Mu's eyes widened. They lack souls. Can one truly communicate? For masters of creation, it is natural. Post-mortem communication is trivial. Their consciousness is a vessel of ancestral wisdom, drawing from countless generations. Absorbing knowledge without learning, Qin Mu said, puzzled. How does one correct the errors of the past? Shu Jun's tone carried pride, almost mockery. Errors? There are no errors in the knowledge of our forebears. Why would we correct them? Qin Mu shook his head. Improvement begins with inquiry, with the courage to see flaw in the foundations. To directly imbue knowledge is to cage the mind, to allow truth to ossify without question. Reform, whether of sword, knife, or runes, even of realms' divine treasures, begins with the fundamentals. just as breaking the God within begins with the mind's root. Without inquiry, no foundation can shift. Opening the heart of his brow, Qin Mu felt Shujun's consciousness surge through the grand primordium origin stone, brushing against the lingering minds of the walking corpses. A vast panorama unfolded. Boundless seas, towering mountains, cascading waterfalls, and clouds white as silk. Giants wandered mountains and jade seas. Some sprouted wings, soaring the skies. Some conjured forests of imagined splendor. Stars, moons, and suns formed from their will alone. This was a world born of thought. A refuge from chaos. Simple garments adorned their bodies, plain as their freedom. Yet their former lands had decayed into strife, with ancient gods seeking their extinction. Their visions built a new domain from emptiness. Suddenly, a gargantuan figure descended into this imagined realm. A ripple of consciousness struck the void, destabilizing the newly forged world. Fragile creations disintegrated, surging back into the minds of their creators. Qin Mu watched, spellbound, beauty warped to carnage. Masters of creation raised heads to the void, mouths voiceless. Consciousness took form, burrowing into their brows, shattering minds and extinguishing souls. Thus were they transformed into the walking corpses Qin Mu now beheld. The visions vanished as Shujun withdrew his mind, his head atop the sacrificial altar panting, grotesque in its formlessness. Qin Mu, drenched in cold sweat, breathed heavily. Shujun, did you witness that majestic figure? Qin Mu steadied himself. A master of creation, capable of entering the great void, yet why seek to destroy it? Shujun shook his head, consciousness unsteady. I could not see the origin fully. Qin Mu pressed gently. We are like ants on a rope, facing the same enemy. If you saw, tell me. Shujun snorted, cold as steel. In the same boat? Your boat is shattered. Death stalks you from every side. Attend to that first. Qin Mu's lips curved faintly. All beneath the ship sought his demise. Celestial venerables Huo and Shu were but a pretext to banish him into the great void forever. Return to the ship swiftly, Celestial Venerable Mu. Lian Huahun's voice floated like wind through bamboo. These corpses are peculiar. One such as you should not risk death. Qin Mu remained perched upon a giant's shoulder, robes fluttering. Sister Lian, I admire the view, disturb me not. Shu Yufang below smiled with feigned gentleness. Celestial Venerable, what charms call to you there? Our view is better. Qin Mu ignored them, sending threads of vital chi to the galaxy beneath the corpses. Hatred erupted on the ship. Crook Mu, cease! Qin Mu brat, dare you! Celestial Venerable Mu, please. The galaxy, formed by Wei Suifeng's divine art, could obliterate all below should it react. Qin Mu tested it, yet the art remained calm. Flowing like a river of light, Shujun's amusement rang out. Little brat, miscalculation. Their consciousnesses endure. Mere thought restrains the divine art. Qin Mu retracted his vital chi, annoyance plain. Why not warn me? Shujun's pride shone cold. Had my body been restored sooner, crushing these worms would be trivial. Yet your life I can still guard if you offer 3 years' worth of consciousness, chi, and blood. Observing Qin Mu unscathed, courage surged among the gods and devils aboard. Pan Chunjing rose to the galaxy's apex, shouting, Wait no longer! Here, he cannot flee to the heavens. Strike now! Others followed, cries echoing, casting their auras. Yet 20 remained below, watching silently. Yun Chushu glanced at Luo Wushuang. A feud burns between divine knife Luo and overlord body Qin. Why do you not act? Luo Wushuang's tone was even, like a blade unsheathed. If I strike, it will be with my own hand. A fair fight with my knife alone. Why should I attack otherwise? Her gaze shifted to Lian Huahun, who remained cold. Yun Chushu chuckled. I seek not to kill him. Why strike? Am I right, younger sister Lian? Lian Huahun's voice, sharp as frost, cut through the air. Wretch, call me elder sister. If Qin Mu had been aboard the ship, the words would have struck him with such force that his entire being would have leapt in alarm. He had long suspected that Yun Chushi was none other than the Celestial Empress, and every subtle sign seemed to confirm his suspicion. The Celestial Empress, instigator of her sister Mistress Yuanmu's death, had possessed her body and returned to the celestial realms. In her cunning, she had transformed into Jue Wuchen, lured the Celestial Emperor into reincarnation, and then struck with lethal precision. When Celestial Venerable Ling finally slew her, she seized the chance to reincarnate again, infiltrating the Heaven Alliance and taking a seat among the Celestial Venerables. Qin Mu had further surmised that Lian Huahun was the reincarnation of Mistress Yuanmu, and even entertained the notion that Mistress Yuanmu's essence had not fully perished, having similarly hidden within the Heaven Alliance as one of the 10 celestial venerables. His conjectures had seemed unassailable, grounded in Yun Chushu's knowledge of his prior attempt to summon the Celestial Empress's soul aboard the ghost ship. Yet, the moment Lian Huahun uttered, "Refer to me as elder sister," the foundation of his reasoning was shattered. Alas, Qin Mu was not aboard to witness this revelation. Worse yet, Luo Wushuang remained ignorant of the origins of the two women, uninterested in their celestial sibling strife, his gaze fixed solely upon the galaxy ahead. There, Qin Mu and his companions moved as fast as flowing light, gods in pursuit behind, intent on extinguishing him. If Overlord Body Qin leaves the protective aura of the walking corpses, the devil within his heart will awaken. Why does he dare provoke these mighty beings? Luo Wushuang's heart stirred uneasily. His eyes pierced the galaxy, and a sudden shock gripped him as the void revealed a boundless land at its edge. The land of the Great Void? So this is what he saw! Knife-like rays of qi leapt from Luo Wushuang's eyes, slicing through the void with metallic clangs that echoed across the ship. He bellowed, "Redirect the ship at once! Make for the land of the Great Void!" The 20 or 30 souls aboard hurried to obey, steering with urgency as Yun Chushu and Lian Huahun averted their gazes from each other to lend their aid. The land of the Great Void hovered as a fragment of existence within the emptiness, discovered by the Emperor of Endless Clouds, Wei Suifeng. Here, heart devils dared not roam. Celestial Venerable Huo and Celestial Venerable Shu had led disciples across the void, seeking its hidden truths, traces of Carefree Village, and the path of the founding emperor. Luo Wushuang unleashed his vital qi to propel the ship, catching up with those pursuing Qin Mu. He shouted, "We have reached the land of the Great Void. Return to the ship." Rays of divine light spiraled from the galaxy's apex, landing upon the vessel, each imbued with murderous intent aimed at Qin Mu, who ran atop the celestial river. Every practitioner prepared their divine arts and weapons, poised to strike from across the river. Sudden cold sweat slicked Luo Wushuang's brow. No more walking corpses ahead. "Stop the ship! Stop it now!" he rasped. In that instant, Qin Mu leapt from the final walking corpse. Runic teleportation symbols flared around him, spinning with a clamorous roar, enveloping and vanishing him from sight. "Celestial Venerable Mu is truly slippery," Yun Chushu murmured, palms clasped. The ship slowed, yet momentum carried it beyond the last corpse's body, racing another 100 miles. Fear bloomed among the crew as their heart devils began to manifest. Luo Wushuang clenched resolve, commanding, "Do not stop! Push the ship to the land of the Great Void before your devils emerge." A tap resounded. Cold sweat chilled Luo Wushuang anew. Behind the ship, atop a chest, Qin Mu stood with awe-inspiring gaze as the chest surged forward, chasing the vessel. Beyond, the void trembled, and a colossal eyeball emerged, its gaze cruel, teeth jagged, tearing toward the ship. From the void, monsters poured forth, dragons longer than the ship, tentacled horrors, spiders with innumerable eyes, headless brides, ancient flaming gods, and even the visage of the ancient celestial emperor. Celestial venerables joined the assault. It was impossible to discern whose devils had birthed these manifestations. "We have walked into his trap." Luo Wushuang's heart tightened. Gripping his knife, he slashed at the massive eyeball. He understood Qin Mu's cunning, luring them from the walking corpse's protective aura, teleporting ahead, leaving them to face their own heart devil's wrath. A god official shouted, "Abandon neither thought and no thought. Focus all magic and dash to the land of the Great Void." His cry was cut short as a flying dragon seized him, dragging him into the void where monstrous forms devoured him swiftly. Luo Wushuang struck down the massive eyeball and urged the ship forward. All aboard giving their all. Shadows flickered. Though divine, the ship strained under the extreme velocity. Deckboards splintered, rivets flew, the hull shuddered violently. He glimpsed the colossal celestial emperor. Nostrils brushed by the ship as it sped by, a mountain of flesh and divinity dwarfing their craft. Despite the emperor's slow materialization, other devils formed rapidly, their numbers endless. A 6-limbed, winged wolf tiger leapt upon the deck, devouring a god. Luo Wushuang's knife rays split into 8 torrents, cascading like waterfalls, purging the ship of monstrous infestation. His skill in the numinous sky realm proved unrivaled, protecting the ship amidst chaos. A wheel of brilliant light emerged. Celestial Venerable Hong! Luo Wushuang inhaled sharply. Though an apparition, the radiance of the Venerable's head halo was complete. With solemnity, he raised his knife, but fear gripped him. A celestial venerable represented supreme heavenly might. Yet, in a surge of heroic defiance, Luo Wushuang leapt skyward, slicing with precision honed over a lifetime. The blade severed the apparition's palm and struck deeply into the skull. Piak! The divine knife shattered, blood spattered his lips, and he stumbled as the ship rushed toward him. He slid across its deck, passing through the apparition's halo, and the land of the Great Void loomed ahead. The ancient celestial emperor's palm descended upon them, yet the land itself resisted, reducing the blow to ashes. Still, the after effects devastated those aboard. Corporeal forms exploded, spirits scattered to dust. Luo Wushuang absorbed the brunt, bleeding from countless wounds, despair filling his heart. Responsibility for the dead weighed upon him like a mountain. He fell through the skies, past mountains taller and grander than any mundane peaks, waterfalls flowing like rivers from heaven, white clouds dense as seas. From atop a waterfall, he saw Qin Mu standing, surveying the destruction below. The young man's gaze met his, a small smile playing across his lips. "This devilish brat!" Luo Wushuang's rage roared as he crashed into the pool below. Qin Mu unrolled a topographic scroll, studying it carefully, then compared the surroundings. Water suddenly surged upward, carving the sky like a massive blade. Luo Wushuang strode along the ascending waterfall, murderous intent blazing. "Celestial Venerable Mu, you are a hidden peril to all the heavens, calculating and ruthless." Qin Mu rolled up the scroll, smiling. "I saved your life before. I seek not to kill on the celestial heaven's behalf, only to continue a battle from 40,000 years past, to strike the devil within my own heart." Luo Wushuang felt as a divine knife unsheathed, heroism surging. Luo Wushuang of the Spirit Elite Guards hereby challenges the overlord body of the High Emperor. Please.